Hello everybody, today we are going to present a database presentation. It's done by Fatima Riyad Salem and Qadir Muhammad. So, what is database? Database is a set of information that can be easily organized and managed. Database is applied and supporting data structure. Relations database is the spread approach. It was established between 1970 and 1980, which used to integrate the hardware and the software. Computer database used to record a lot of data, such as sales transaction, the customer details, and the inventories of product. So database have a lot of uses. Also, database includes a lot of applications, such as Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, and MySQLite. Normally, everything have advantage and disadvantage. So a database advantage is 1. It combines all of the information together. 2. It can be transferred the information from the laptop. 3. Easily to access the information. 4. Many people can use the same database at the same time. And the last one is it is more security for data storage. On the other side, there are a lot of disadvantages of database. We will mention 4 of them. The first one, database systems are more complex and difficult. It will force the company to make more training for the employee will cost us a lot. Secondly, requires startup cost to use suitable hardware and software. Again, it will cost the company from our budget. And thirdly, large file size. And the last one, great impact of failure. We are going to focus on 2 types of database in our presentation. The first one is Oracle database. What is Oracle database? The Oracle database is an object relation database management system which produced by Oracle Corporation. Oracle database identified by SID. Also, Oracle database stored the data in the form of table spaces and in the data files. Table spaces include different types of memory segments, such as indexed segments. Database have advantages and disadvantages. We will mention 4 of them. The first one, it is more reliable. The second one, standardization. It is easy to make a training for it to have understand it fastly. The third one has an advantage of locking and continuity. The fourth one, centralized management system and control. Moreover, Oracle disadvantage is also 4 disadvantages. Number 1 is it not simple to learn. So it have to be with training and teachers to make it more clearly for the employees. Secondly, it is more expensive because it is more published. Thirdly, it is limited functionality. And the last one, incompatibility and complexity. So we can ask ourselves this question. Why use the Oracle in logistic company? It is simple. The company need to use Oracle database to store the data of the company and manage them and manage the information. It will be more clearly and more suitable to use it. As you can see, this is a picture for Oracle database to make it more familiar and similar for you. You can make tables in it and you can view it by relation database. You can also store a lot of folders in it. It make it more suitable to use it and make it more private and more secured, and it is more organized. The other type we are going to talk about of database is Microsoft SQL Server. What is Microsoft SQL Server? It is an application used to create computer database for the Microsoft Windows family of server operating system. Microsoft SQL Server provides an environment used to generate database that can be accessed from workstations, the internet, or other media such as a personal digital assistant. It is also non-particular language that lets you store and retrieves data in a relation database. There are two types of Microsoft SQL Server. The first one, Data Manipulation Language, SQL, for retrieving and storing data. Secondly, Data Design Language, SQL, for creating, altering, and dropping tables. Most of the time, the SQL you use is for manipulating the data, but occasionally we will need to create new tables, alter existing ones, or add an index. One of the best things about SQL is that you can do all of this operation with just simple SQL commands. SQE server have a lot of great advantages. The first one is stored procedures. The main advantage of using SQL Server is the use of storage procedures. Stored procedures are lines of code that are called by the application. They are placed on the server and they are pre-compiled for quicker response time. Stored procedures require the knowledge of SQL Server syntax, which is called transaction SQL. The use of stored procedure also centralizes code, so troubleshooting bad database requests can be observed by a database administration. Secondly, scalability. The term scalability is used to describe the ability to grow when the business becomes bigger. When business grows quickly, a small database application like Access can be a bottleneck for a website or desktop software. Microsoft SQL Server is quick for large and small business. So the business grows, the SQL Server can handle the new volume of database requests. SQL Server can handle millions of records and transactions. Also, we have security. It is the major issue for any site. SQL Server allows the administration to guarantee access or deny access for users. The SQL Server has a specific section of application where users are added to be permissions. SQL Server allows administration to specify which tables and stored producer users are able to access and query. This limits what records and user information can be queried, which protects the business customer information. Also, we have transaction logs. Transaction logs are objects on the SQL Server that record the retrieval, update, and deletions of record. There are two reasons to keep transaction logs. The first, for rollback procedures. This process is used for accident update or deletions. The administration can return records back to the original data by using transaction logs. Secondly, the transaction logs can be used for security purposes. If administration suspects a breach of security, he can watch the transaction logs for any type data retrieval and identify the severity of the breach. Last advantage is automatic backup. SQL Server has an automatic backup option. The SQL Server automatically saves a copy of the database and the transaction logs on another hard drive or media like CD-ROM or a DVD. Small applications like Access do not have this option, and backups are an integral part of disaster recovery. SQL Server also has procedures that allow the administration to quickly restore database when data is corrupted, or the server has a hard drive crash. Normally, SQL have also disadvantages. The first one, inability to implement recursive processing. According to SQL, one of the major drawbacks of SQL it is incapability to execute recursive processing. Recursive processing is a type of computer function in which one of the steps of a program or procedure returns the entire programs. SQL lacks looping constructs that are common in other high-level programming languages, such as For and what loops. It cannot repeat actions, and there's no way to define repetitive looping construct in SQL. Secondly, incompatibility and complexity. One of the major disadvantages of SQL is inconsistency and incompatibility in the areas of time and data syntax. String connection and case sensitivity. The language is complex, with a keyboard approach similar in structure to COBOL, Common Business Oriented Language, with fewer syntax and grammar rules. The last disadvantage is limited of functionality. SQL is a domain specific of special purpose language, and it is used limited to a specific program domain. SQL statements are operate on a tables and sets of data, such as personal database and accounting spreadsheets. SQL is a declarative domain-specific language that is limited to the tabular representation of data. When coding an application, the decision to use SQL Server is a requirement for dynamic content. Microsoft SQL Server is a database application that can be used by a large or small business. It can also be used by the individual for online application. Using SQL Server requires a learning curve, but its overall advantage make it worth time for implementation. Eventually, we decide to use Microsoft SQL Server in our company because we see that it is more logically to use it, because it is less expensive, it is more reliable, and also it is easy to learn it. As you can see, this is a picture of Microsoft SQL Server. You can see we can store in it millions of folders without any limits, so it is more reliable in our company. I think we made the right decision to have it and use it as a database application in our company, because it is more easier for the employee, less expensive, and will not cost us a lot from our budget.